All right, guys, welcome to our Thursday night call, and I am super excited to have Miss Hannah Kelly on tonight. She's a Sapphire ambassador, and Hannah, you're going to have to tell us once you get on, but we are all below you, but I don't know how many levels below we are, or even I am from you, but we're pretty deep, so I appreciate you getting on tonight. And for the rest of us, I ran into Hannah at Leaders Retreat and kind of picked her brain a little bit. And I couldn't get enough of her words. I just fell in love with her. She's so sweet and just, has this adorable little personality. And we talked the other day and I kind of just shared with her that, where we are as a team, a lot of us are working. We've been in a rut. And she has some stories to tell us that, where she can relate. And I'm not going to steal that thunder from her, but some things that came to mind, when I was telling her about our team was absolutely, I don't know if it's, I know you could probably check one of these, but, have you ever just wanted to give up? You just say, you know what, is this worth it? You feel like, I'm putting all this work into it. I'm not getting a lot out of it. Maybe I'm just done. Believe it or not, that those words came, those thoughts, I guess, came into my mind earlier on in my little journey. And I remember saying, man, I think Julie is just lucky. I don't know that I can be like Julie. It just seems so easy to her. And, I thought maybe it's not. And then I had this other, little person on this side tell me, absolutely, you can do it. And that was my inner strength, I believe. My inner strength telling me, absolutely, we can do this and get over it. And what am I going to do to solve, this problem? And that little guy this other bad guy sneaks in my head, every now and then, but more so at the beginning. So I know some of you also are probably on here tonight just feeling like you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. Maybe you feel like you've tapped out your market or, whatever it might be. So Hannah is going to kind of share with us her journey and kind of tell us how she got out of a rut and got to Sapphire. So please take notes. I have my notebook out because I know when I talked to Hannah earlier this week, I did not have my notebook and I wish I would have. Write down questions. I think Hannah is very open and would be open to share specific examples if you're writing down those questions to ask her at the end. So Hannah, I welcome you to our call and thank you so much for taking your time out. I know our kids are not even in bed yet and you are stepping in tonight. So thank you so much. And if you are unmuted, you can go ahead.
Yes. I will warn y'all, my husband's a fireman. I'm right here. Where? Can you hear me?
Now I hear you, but I'm trying to find you on my screen. Oh, there you are.
I'm next to you on my screen. I don't know.
You're the Brady Bunch. Okay, yeah. There we
go. Okay, I'll just warn y'all, my husband is a fireman and he is working tonight. So I have my kids, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, confined to my bed watching a movie, and I threaten them to not get up, but I can't promise anything. They are 2 and 4. So, and she asked me to share kind of our lineage. And you may actually kind of have to help me with it, Misty, but I am actually Heather Edney's cousin and her direct upline. So it's me, Heather, Alyssa's husband, Brian, Corinne, Julie, and then I don't know where from there. Who's under Julie? You, Misty?
Well, actually, her husband and then me. Yeah. So we're way deep.
Yeah, okay, we had figured that out. You were my 7th level, so I get 1 point for you. So, but we are truly one plexus, and I don't mind doing this at all because I am very honest and I am very transparent. I will answer any question you need about my journey. I'm not even gonna act like I didn't have struggles or that I'm not still struggling. But I guess I'll start from the beginning. I was 23 years old and I had a baby that I was trying to lose the weight from. I mentioned my husband was a fireman. I used to do hair, And I had stopped doing hair, and I was just doing like monogramming shirts and stuff. And it was really like, we were in debt from me trying to make money because whenever you're doing shirts, you can't just buy one shirt. You have to buy one of every size, of every color. So I need to go look at my mom's. I think I still have boxes of shirts that I never sold. And they would take forever to make. And so I was trying to lose weight. I bought it from Deborah McCutcheon. She's my sponsor. And actually, me and my mom bought a bag of Slim and Accelerator to share. And we did it for 2 weeks, and we both hated it. We said, this stuff doesn't work, which now, I'm like, yeah, 2 weeks, that was nothing. I was just had a baby. My hormones were probably going crazy. So I think that was in September-ish, and I think toward the beginning of September, and I think the end of October, I said, okay, I'm going to buy a full month's worth and do it myself and see how it goes. Well, it took me like a month and a half just to use the stuff that I did, but I had lost 10 pounds, and that was a lot because I hadn't done anything since then. And so I said, well, I really need some more, but I cannot afford $100. So Deborah talked me into signing up, and I was the point in my business with my monogramming that I had to either go big or quit completely because it was Christmas time and I was getting orders, and like I just couldn't finish the orders. I had this small machine and I needed like the $10,000, $15,000 machine, and I could not afford that. So I ended up quitting altogether, and I started Plexus. It was December 28th of 2012. And I said, my mom and my friend is going to order, and that's it. And they ordered both preferred, and I got a check in January, and it was for $48. And I was like, I didn't even do anything, and I got $48. Like, they literally just bought from me. So right then and there, I decided that I was going to go for it and see what happens in the next month. My husband was like, yeah, whatever. You're not going to do anything with this. It's way too good to be true. Deborah keeps telling you these things. I put everything I was putting into other things into Plexus for that very first month, and I made enough to pay our mortgage in my first month. That's a lot for your first month, but I literally lived and breathed Plexus. So I almost ranked up every single month after that. And starting in February, I think I made silver. And then I think it was May or June, I found out that I was pregnant again. And I don't know about y'all, but I am a horrible pregnant person. Like, I'm very hormonal and emotional, and I just don't want to do anything. I had the energy because I had the products now, but I had no interest in doing my business anymore, really. I kind of followed up with my people, but it wasn't like I was before. I wasn't living and breathing the products in the company. I got all the way up to Senior Ruby. I think it was probably August of 2013. So not long after I had signed up. And my points kept steadily going up, but I wasn't doing anything for that to happen. It's just, I don't know, luck of the draw, I guess. I had my daughter in January of 2014, and my points were actually at 1,300 points. I was 200 points away from Emerald. And I literally didn't do anything. I was very emotional. My hormones were going crazy. I just had a baby. I was telling Misty, I said, I actually remember sitting in this recliner that's in this room trying to breastfeed a child that I had no milk for. She was screaming bloody murder. I had people asking me questions, and I was like, oh my God, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? Like, I can't do this. But I was so overwhelmed. I mean, I had a screaming child, but I was like, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? You kind of, when you start, sometimes you think, oh, it's just a little year thing. But then I started really thinking about this, and I'm like, I have to keep doing this. And then I watched my husband walk out almost half asleep to go to work again. He would work 24-hour shifts, And then like he would go in at 7:00 in the morning and get off 7:00 the next morning and go straight to another job and never come home. He would come home about 4 p.m., eat supper, play with the kids for a few minutes, and then go to sleep and do it all over again. And at that moment I said, no, I have to do this because it's for my family. And that was my why when I first started, was for me to comfortably stay home financially with my kids. And I mean, I was to that point, you know, even though I wasn't doing anything, I was to that point. But I still, even though I said I needed to do this, I still didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I slowly watched my points go from 1,300 to 800. I can't tell you the month. I don't really remember exactly, but they slowly dropped. I went from my very first convention from winning like all the credits and doing all these winners dinners and all these things to my second convention going pretty much and maybe winning one of the prizes. I wasn't building my team, and it was reflecting. I was seeing the points, you know. That was actually when Alyssa and Corinne kind of came in. They had said, okay, we're giving it a year. I'm sure y'all heard the story. They were giving it a year and then see what happens. Well, I slowly started to see my points grow again, and it was encouraging. So I said, I've got to do this because they're about to pass me up. You know, I can't let that happen. I can't let them pass it up, because I always was the type of person that said, nobody will ever pass me up. Like when one of my uplines told me that happens, I was like, nobody's going to ever pass me up. Like that doesn't happen, you know, that won't happen. So this was January of 2015. Corinne made Emerald. I was still at Senior Ruby. Not gonna lie, I was upset, but Corinne and Alyssa deserved it because they worked their tail off and they worked their business every single day, no excuse. And they passed me up, and they deserved it though, because they were putting the work in every single day that they were supposed to. I didn't make Emerald until March, so they were actually Emerald for 2 months before I was. I can't tell you what months they made Sapphire and Diamond, but they passed me up another 2 times. Obviously, they're both diamonds, and I'm not right now. But I have outside leg problems, so I'll get into that a little bit more. It took me a full another year to make Sapphire. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with my journey. And I'm okay that it took me 27 months to Emerald and however many, 39 months to Sapphire, because I've learned so much about myself, and I know what makes me tick. And I know that I'm a very unorganized person and that I don't have my life together. And you have to believe in yourself. I didn't have the confidence that I was a very good leader. I told a girl that last convention and she hated me for it. I said, you have no confidence in yourself and you are very negative toward yourself. You keep saying, I can't, I can't, I can't. And then she finally saw it and she thanked me for it, even though she hated me for a couple months. But I'm saying, you keep saying you can't, and as long as you say you can't, you're not going to get there. Another thing that I did that was a mistake is I got comfortable. I made Emerald. All right. Okay, but you got to keep going, you know. I made Sapphire. I'm being totally honest with y'all. I just made Sapphire in March. I got comfortable again. I said, okay, woo, I got my car. I'm Sapphire. And then summer came, you know, the summer lull, and, you know, everybody gets upset and everybody gets depressed, and you have to keep going. What is the thing that makes you keep going? What is your why? My why, like I said originally, was for me to stay financially comfortable. And I achieved that a long time ago. So your why is going to change throughout your journey. It could change week by week. My why changed to bringing my husband home. I felt like it was selfish for me to be able to watch my kids grow up, but he couldn't because he literally was never home. He'll never quit the fire department. My husband's not going to be the one that retires. He loves the fire department, and he loves to work for my dad. So he does still go into both jobs, but he goes in when he wants to now. And that has fueled me to keep going so that he doesn't have to. I told him, I said, I don't care. I'm firing you from my dad's job. You can go visit and tell them, hey, when you want to, but I am firing you from my dad's shop so that you are home. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, it doesn't mean you have to be home with me every day. We'd probably kill each other. I'm like, I want you to go hunting or go fishing without, every single day he's off, he's wanting to go, but he's never home, So what is your why? And you have to be honest with yourself. I talked to one of my team members one day, and he kept kind of hawing around it. And I said, it's the money, isn't it? Yeah. Hang on. What? Okay. He's not answering me. And he said, yeah. And I said, that is not a problem that it's for the money. I said, you're doing what you love in the process, but it's financial freedom for all of us. What about if you didn't have to pay that water bill anymore, or have to worry about that water bill anymore? That should be what fuels you. Go back to when you first started and you were making, even just $50. That was life-changing. Don't get comfortable in this $500 check you're making or whatever you're making. You may be still at that $50. That should fuel you to make even more and to be able to pay your mortgage without having to even think about it. Another thing that I know a lot of people struggle with too, and I've struggled with it too, because as I've mentioned, I'm not a very organized person, and I kind of run my day around and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I've done so much today and nothing happened. Like I didn't get anything done, even though I feel like it did. My husband's mad at me because I'm not spending time with him. My kids are mad at me because I'm not spending time with them. I've tried so hard. I don't know if y'all have heard, but we had the big flood and everything down here, and I was doing so good right before that flood. I was being so organized, and then the flood just totally screwed everything up. But I'm trying to get back into that, getting a planner. I'll be honest, I am so excited about this planner that they're coming out with, but I am not a paper person. I'm going to try my hardest to use it because I just love it. I think it's the cutest thing ever. But I am a phone person. This phone is on me at all times. So I've literally probably bought 5 planners in the past year, and I'm like, I'm going to use this planner. And it never happens. This planner is a little bit different. I'll use this planner. It never happens. So I have a planner on my phone now because I know I'm going to have this planner, because I'll be in the store and I'm like, okay, let me write that in my planner. I don't have my planner. I don't even know where it is. I know where my phone is. I always have to have my phone. So I have a planner, not my calendar. It's a separate planner, and I am taking notes on it. I plan out my time, even if it's, some people think it's silly. Some people think it's silly that they have to plan out time for their kids, but sometimes you just have to, like, plan out, okay, I'm going to play with my kids for an hour, and then the next hour I'm going to do business. And just for that hour, have a power hour, not all day flipping through Facebook. That's not IPA. That's not working. Working is reaching out to people for a full hour. Can you imagine what you could get done in just a full hour sitting down on your email, or even better, calling somebody? I know that sounds super scary to actually call somebody, or even just voice messenger, for them to hear it in your voice and hear the passion. They can't hear the passion in just writing it out. So plan out those power hours, even if it is like I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I might have a couple power hours a day. I know a lot of y'all might work, and so you think, okay, I can't have a power hour as easy as somebody that is a stay-at-home mom. And I totally understand that. Your day is going to look a lot different than what my day is going to look like. If you're looking at a pie chart, and that's divided into self-examination and following it up with customers and ambassadors and trying to think of what else. Things like that. My pie shape is going to be a little bit bigger when it comes to team leading and things like that. And then somebody that's starting out, their wedge is going to be a little bit more on self-development and building their customer base, because that's where majority of your ambassadors are going to come from. People used to ask me, well, how do you sign up all these people? I had no idea how to tell them. I was like, well, I don't know. They just sign up. I don't know. And mine was getting the customer in, getting them belief in the products, and then they're able to say, I guess I could share this with people. People are already asking me why I have a little bit more energy or things like that. So you want to schedule out your day. I feel weird even telling y'all this because I'm horrible at it, but I can tell when I'm having a better day when I'm going by my schedule. Even scheduling out time for your husband, y'all. We heard Carrie Wilkerson at Leaders Retreat, but we actually heard her in Kona also. And I feel like my business has changed a lot since then. And my husband has actually kind of been bitter about some things that, I was putting into my business more than him, or I was looking at my phone all night and not him, or, things like that. And she says, sit down with your shareholder, because you're not in this business just by yourself. You're in this business with other people also, even though they're not actually doing the business. They're in your life. And every night, you don't have to be on the phone every single night. She was a little bit crazy. I mean, she was like, go in the bedroom and see what he needs, if you know what I mean. Like, make your man happy so that he's okay with you being on a call tonight, I mean, if your man's not happy, the rest of your life is not happy. And it's true, my husband's a lot happier now, and he's okay with me doing calls every few days or so, It only takes, 15 minutes if you want to sit down and, hey, how was your day? My husband was like, why do you want to know how my day was? And it's so bad. I have to I'll leave my phone in the living room and go in the other room with him, because you're tempted to look at your phone, and even with your kids, whenever your kids start telling you stuff like, hey, can you put your phone down? That's bad. That's really bad. So you're welcome, Gina. I'm reading the chats. But it is hard, because whenever you have their support, it's so much easier to do this. And I mean, my husband's kind of vocal about that. He's like, I don't mind going on all these trips with you and you doing the meetings and blah, blah, whatever, but I never see you. And you feel that tension between you. And I feel like I can't get much done when I feel like there's tension, because I'm thinking about that, oh, he's so mad at me. But then I'm telling everybody how amazing my life is, and it's not all that amazing anymore, right? So why would somebody want to join your team if all they see you doing is working all the time? I don't want to join that. Now, if they see you having fun and they see you, I took my kids to the park today, and then later on you were on a team call. And I know there are going to be difficult days. I still have difficult days. I'll just be totally honest with y'all. I have to get Sapphire back. People keep asking me, like, when are you going to make Diamond? I'm like, well, got to get the big blue back first. We're all working and striving for it, and we have really, really bad days. And you know what? Take 30 minutes, 15 minutes, not even 30 minutes, 15 minutes, sulk, cry, do whatever you need to do, and then get up and message somebody. I know it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done, is in the bad times message somebody, but follow up with one of your customers. Get them to tell you how amazing they feel. That always makes me feel better. I don't know about you, but if I have a customer that tells me, like, oh, I haven't had so much energy in forever, that always makes me feel better. But don't sulk and cry for a week, because it's just going to bring your business down. Sorry. So we're all going to have the bad months. I would say we've all had some bad months lately, but keep going. People are watching you. I still to this day have people that message me and they're like, okay, I've been watching you for the last 4 years. You know, I'm ready to try it. They're watching you. Whenever I was kind of going through my little not doing anything type thing, I actually had a guy when I started posting again, he was like, oh, I thought you quit that thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was like a stab in the heart. I was like, no, I never quit. And he was like, well, you stopped posting. I liked watching your posts. I'm like, seriously? So they're always watching, even though you don't think they are. Or like, I have so many friends on Facebook. I don't even know half of them, three-fourths of them probably. This is funny though. It was probably midnight and I was on my phone. I think my husband was working, and you know how it pops up in your notification that somebody's live. Well, I didn't even know who the girl was. It popped up. So I just clicked on it and I'm like, oh crud. And I'm the only person on. So now she knows I'm on. So I felt bad getting off. And so she's like, all of a sudden she's like, oh, hey, Hannah Kelly. And I'm like, oh, hey. She was like, you just went to Hawaii, didn't you? And I was like, oh my God, I don't even know who this girl is. I didn't even know I was friends with her, but she's watching me, y'all. She started asking me about the product. She asked me about Hawaii. Her whole life just all of a sudden turned into Plexus. But it's just funny. It was a very good example that people are watching that you don't know are watching you. So stay away from the negative on Facebook. If you're having a bad day, do not post it on Facebook. If you're sick, do not post it on Facebook, because the first thing they're going to say is, oh, is that Plexus stuff making you sick? I'm not telling you to fake it till you break it, but on Facebook, people are watching you, and you can sulk and cry up to your upline for a couple minutes and then keep going. So, I hope that was okay enough.
Oh my gosh, that was perfect. I think one thing that was really powerful that I'm hearing and I needed to hear over and over is to find the balance. Because now that I am home all day, you know, I feel like, well, I can work it, but then I'm also working it at night. And I actually want to challenge myself to really try for 1 whole hour. Like, I feel like I'll be in jail. Like, I really feel like I don't know that I can handle, like, but try for 1 whole hour to sit and only do what you sat down to do. And I think what we're trying to do too, Kelly, or Hannah, is to, you know, come up with a plan, you know, have that in our face at all times and looking at that, whether that's on paper or on your phone or on a whiteboard or whatever it is. But when you sit down, I already know and planned ahead that these are the people that I'm going to be kind of, you know, working on this month. You know what I mean? Whether that's some people who had some PV last month or new potentials or new customers or ambassadors, but just having their names in front of me, I know that's going to help me a lot to just kind of keep focused, because we kind of went through, and I know Gina Lorenz had an amazing, she shared it on our team, but I was asking her, you know, how are you following up? And she's like, well, you know, a lot of times I'm just like scrolling back through my messages, but when she finally wrote it down, how many pages did you have, Gina? She had like, I don't know,
like 8 pages or something. And that was like over 3 months or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I went all the way back like to January or something. I thought I'm going to start way far back. And like, oh my gosh, I haven't even reached out to these people. I forgot about them because I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
So I just did it again because I went through like January through June, and I re-messaged all those people. And then I just did June through September again. And I had like another 6 or 7 pages of new people I had reached out to and hadn't touched base with them in a couple of months. So
yeah, so like
huge difference, because you just forget. You know, you're like, oh, I'll remember they were interested, and it's gone. My brain's fried.
Yeah. And Hannah, I was just gonna, you know, something that I was talking to some of my leaders about too was, I think some people feel like, because follow-up is such a big key in our business, but I think people just think that it's like this grand, you know, big thing that they don't really know what to do. But can you just touch base, like tell us how simple it is to, like, what does it look like to follow up with someone?
I'm horrible at follow-up, but no, I'm getting better. But one thing that I do, like I just said, I'm not a paper and pencil person. Like I literally, like, I feel like a stalker, but I have in my phone, in my photo album, an album that says potentials or follow-up. And like I have a screenshot of their Facebook in that folder so that I remember to message them, because I'm like, I'm never going to write this down, like I'm like, screenshot real quick, and then I'll put it in that album. But I have people that say all the time, well, I don't want to bug somebody, or I don't want to be pushy, or sometimes you have to be pushy, but not to an extreme, if that makes sense. Like, so if I have somebody that tells me, sorry, my husband is texting me. If I have somebody that tells me, like I actually had a girl, sorry, that messaged me yesterday and asked for my website. She's been telling me that she's going to order, and she never does. But she asked me for a website. So that's another step. But she still hasn't ordered. So probably tomorrow I'm going to message her and say, hey, did you have a problem ordering? I can help you out, or if you need to. Even if you have to be customer service over the phone, if you have to get on the phone with them and ask them, I mean, people are crazy. They'll give you their credit card number. They don't care their social security number, over the phone. So if you have to be customer service, you can offer that. Hey, I know you're really busy. I can get on the phone and get the order in for you really quick. It will be really easy. Sorry, y'all. Oh. But I try to make it really light and very to the point, even if it's, especially with your customers, if it's somebody that's already ordering from you, something that I like to do is you want to build that relationship so that they trust you and they feel like they can talk to you. So I do a lot of Facebook, y'all. So if you don't do Facebook, I'm sorry, but I'll go through their Facebook and I'll watch what they're doing. Like if I find out that their mom is in the hospital, or one of their kids broke their leg, or their kid's sick, or blah, blah, I'll message them. Hey, I saw that your mom is in the hospital. I want to let you know I was praying for you. See if everything's okay. They know that you care, and then they're more likely to open up to you about maybe a product not working, or having a question about other products or things like that. And I also do that with my ambassadors. It's all about the relationship and them trusting you enough to open up to you if they're having a bad day. Okay, well, why are you having a bad day? And let's fix it. They may not be comfortable enough to tell you, me and my husband got in a fight. Okay, well, whatever you want to tell them, but it's about the relationship for sure. And really getting to know your customers and your ambassadors in follow up, I feel like.
Absolutely. I think it's hard for someone to leave you, like it took a lot. Like my very best friend of 26 years, like just left the company. And it was really hard for her to message me. Like she couldn't call me. She messaged me. Because it's hard to leave someone that you really, care a lot about. And it's just more than the product at that point. It's that relationship piece. Right. I'm going to open it up for some questions. And if you guys have anything, like Hannah said, she's very open, transparent. And this is the time to get some, other ideas from someone else. So unmute yourself and, ask Hannah if you have a question.
I have a question for you, Hannah. How old are you exactly? Because I have a lot of really young ambassadors, so I wanted them to see that, not everybody's old like like us.
I'm 27 now. I started at 23. I was 23 in December, but I was making 24 in March. But I think that's one of the things that I struggled with too, is being younger and having to lead someone that was not that they're old, but they're older than me. And it is kind of difficult. And I just had to kind of get over it that, like I am their upline and I have to get over that, and it is difficult sometimes. But you just have to find a common ground. Like, we're both moms, I may be young, but you know, they've gone through this before too. And learning self-development, especially when you're young. I dealt a lot with self-development and learning who I was and how I'm going to be a leader, and being transparent with people. I'm not going to ever lie to somebody and tell them that I'm still a rank that I'm not, or, you know, like being transparent with people. So
cool. Thanks.
Welcome.
I don't have a question, but I just want to say it's just the girls who are the Sapphires, the Diamonds, the upline girls, you just think everything is just perfect sunshine, rainbow. It really brings it back to us when we hear from you guys. Like, because I went to a thing with Alyssa here in Atlanta, and she was the same way. She's like, you guys, it's not all perfect. I struggle. I have issues, and you know, I still get out there and still try to make it work. And it's not perfect, and I have issues too. And it just really helps to hear from upline that, you know, there are struggles across the board, and we are all the same, and we have struggles in different ways. So I just appreciate it. So thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad my struggles can make you feel better.
Yes. And
down to earth, and I just appreciate it.
And we also have Betsy Collard is also going to get on next week, and she's going to be sharing about her journey. And Hannah, you might remember, she was a senior ruby and went back to senior gold before she hit emerald.
Yep.
So she's going to have a lot of good things too to share, just like Hannah. But that this is real. But you guys are on here for a reason. Every single one of you are, you know, you took this time out of your day to get on here because you have it within you to fight to get out of that rut. And it, you know, if I wish we could snap our fingers and it could happen, but this is what's going to separate us from the other people that just fall off. And, you know, just being on this call and learning from the other people. You know, Hannah's younger than us, but most of us. But, you know, she has had some intense training with Plexus. And I know she was sharing with me, like, just hearing, you know, it was like an aha moment when she's hearing, you know, these motivational speakers come to their event. And that's why it's so important to get to events. I know we're not welcome to those events yet. We will be all soon, but getting to that Super Saturday and hearing Jessica Heffley up there and sharing her heart, and I know has some very valuable things to share, but hearing it from other people that it's not the, you know, peachy keen type thing, like, it gives you hope. I hope that you guys feel like you have hope being on this call tonight, because when I heard Hannah, or when I heard Betsy share their story, I was like, okay, I can do this. You know what I mean? And they were there, and look at them now. Like, they can rank. You can rank up. So any other questions for Hannah before we say goodbye?
Not for long, right?
No, I told her I'm going to be in contact. I just love her.
Thanks. I love y'all. I like connecting. I don't care what level y'all are. I like connecting with y'all. I think I have like 15 or 16 levels now. So I don't even know 3/4 of my downline.
It's all of us.
Yeah. It really is.
It is.
I'd have to look back.
Yeah. All right, guys, last call. Thank you, Hannah, so much for taking your time out and sharing your heart with us. And hopefully all of us have a little bit more hope. So let me unmute all of you, and you guys can say bye. Go for it.
Bye.
Bye, Hannah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me.